Stand by.
Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into another edition of the JP Peterson Show as we come to you live from the Jeeves Law Group studios. I am your indefatigable host, and I have no idea what that even means.
Indefatigable.
Yes, I heard that somebody used it one time, so I thought I'd throw it in there. How's the audio? My headphones are a little. Everything good?
Sounds good.
All right, good. We'll just go with it.
So indefatigable, persisting tirelessly.
What is it?
Persisting tirelessly.
That's me.
It's our JP Peterson word of the day.
Well, you know what? Boy, does that ever fit, man? Like your worst freaking nightmare. And indefatigable. Yes. Good morning to all of you. It's a big day. You know, it's a huge day. It's a huge day. Although Michael LaRue has just really thrown me for a freaking loop here early on in the show. Good morning to you, Tim Ham, IndyCar Tim from our Dallas affiliate, FanStream Sports DFW. Look at this. What the hell is this, Michael LaRue? Why would Michael Kelly leave USF for Navy? Is he leaving? Check. Intern Alex, get on that right away.
Yeah,
get on the Twitter machine,
right?
Yep, get on the Twitter machine and find me a story on Michael Kelly leaving USF for Navy. Leaving USF for anybody. I mean,
Navy's a good job, right?
Yeah, it's very prestigious. Obviously, very prestigious.
Better than,
and I think they've won a conference championship in football, unlike us.
Yeah.
So as I say, us USF, I am us. You know, I feel like I'm part of the. I think like I'm part of the fam. All right, Michael LaRue, we're on it. We're on it right away. I expected to see Michael Kelly tonight at the Sports Club of Tampa Bay Hall of Fame induction. As man, we have got a huge program coming up tonight. Let me, if I may add to the stage here.
Man, I wish I could be there.
It's going to be awesome tonight. Tony Dungy will get our Lifetime Achievement Award. I mean, what can you say about Tony Dungy? I'll say lots tonight. I got some great Dungy stories. The great Dick Vitale, who's on his 4th round of beating cancer. He was going to join us on the show, but he is his voice is very tender, so he's been wanting to save his voice for tonight. So he will be there tonight. Dominic Sayal will be there tonight, longtime local high school football coach at Berkeley now and Jesuit. The great Dave Mishkin, who joined us last week, play-by-play man for the Tampa Bay Lightning. John Cooper, also for the Lightning, will be going in tonight. He will be there. The great Rob Higgins, who joined us on Monday, will be there from the Tampa Bay Sports Commission. Terry Rupp will be there tonight, local coach and athletic director. So, yeah, it is a star-studded affair. And former inductees that will be there tonight. The great Rondé Barber will be joining us as well. Jane Deckerhoff, touchdown Tampa Bay, will be joining us. Touchdown Florida State. Man.
All of it. I love the same time.
All of it. Yes. Ken Erickson, USF softball coach, who joined us a couple weeks ago, will be there tonight, along with Jose Fernandez, USF women's basketball coach and inductee. Rick Peckham, former inductee, will be there. Longtime Lightning broadcaster, Hall of Famer, Hockey Hall of Famer, Lightning Hall of Famer. Dexter Jackson, Super Bowl MVP, will be there tonight. Eric Neander from the Rays will be there tonight. And yes, Evan Longoria, the great Evan Longoria, will be there as well tonight.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's going to be a special night, a super special night. I am more than thrilled and honored to be able to MC tonight's festivities. And Lou Maggio is going to join us 10:30, the incoming president of the Sports Club of Tampa Bay, and we'll chop it up a little bit more. So going to be a very special night tonight.
Can you ask Evan tonight if he's got anything for the Rays offense? He's got anything left? I mean, I know they were okay last night.
We're doing okay lately.
Okay, they were okay, but okay then for the Rangers. Can you please come over and take some at-bats for the Rangers?
Well, that'd be a no. That'd be a hard no. No, we're gonna first of all, and we'll get into this right now. And Jason Fawcett's going to join us from On-Site Construction, big hockey fan. We got to talk to him about the Yanni Gourde signing. See where he's at on that. He may not be very happy about that.
I don't know that a lot of people are actually.
No, Johnny Gerber. think it's mixed reviews from Lightning fans.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, listen, as we said the other day, I trust JBB and John Cooper. They know way more about Yanni Gourde than I do, and how he fits in and how they plan to fit in. And this is all just part of the plan. Remember that.
Sure.
Very low salary, 2.2 AAV, caps going up dramatically over the next few years. It's a really nothing. It's, a third and fourth liner in terms of money. You get him on the cheap, and if you can keep him healthy for a couple more years, he can be a really good player, averaging 30 points the past few seasons. He came here, he was injured, just coming off a hernia surgery. He hadn't played in 3 months. Said it took like 3 weeks to get his legs under him. Then he broke his finger in the first game against the Panthers. So, blah, blah, blah. A lot of, excuses or reasons why he wasn't as effective as we hoped he would be. But again, I trust Julien Brisebois, who knows a hell of a lot more about this and what his plan is. We don't, I'm like, yeah, do we need to get bigger and more physical? I think we do. But I think that's very much part of his plan. And this just isn't that part of the plan yet. So let's be patient, see what the plan is. And again, when you're dealing with Julien Brisebois, and I'm not saying he's been perfect. It's impossible for general managers to be perfect. You're not going to get everything right. But on balance, he took a team that really was not very good in a 5-on-5 2 years ago and made them the best 5-on-5 team in hockey last year in the regular season. So in one season. So I'm okay. If he thinks it's the best thing, then that's good.
But nobody's patient ever in this world.
Nope.
So
especially the Knicks press.
Oh God. The hell is wrong with
How do you fire Tom Thibodeau? He's taken you to playoffs 4 of the last 5 years. Do you remember how bad you were for so long?
Talk about short-term memory.
2 wins away from the finals with a roster that's still kind of Okay. All right. But that's their problem. But yeah, we're a little bit more patient here. We're a little bit more patient here, and thank God that we are, because it tends to work out in our favor. You talk about long tenure. Look at John Cooper and Kevin Cash. Mm-hmm. And really, when you look at the Bucs, the stability, Todd Bowles is just an extension of Bruce Arians. So they've had basically the same coaching staff for 6-7 years. So a lot of stability in Tampa Bay. And guess what? That's why all the franchises are winning. The Rays they're teetering on 500, but for Kevin Cash's tenure, it's been a great run. So yeah, continuity wins and patience.
Maybe some head scratching recently, but
the
track record is good.
Yeah, again, when you're dealing with one of the lowest payrolls in baseball, and you're a GM and a manager, you're playing with 2 hands tied behind your back. Right. So to consistently be at 500 or above, it's pretty damn good. But we want better, and we strive for better, and I think there's better on the way. So let's go ahead and just segue. Anything yet on Michael Kelly, by the way? Oh, you did. You emailed. Okay. Let me check on that. From the Rangers' perspective last night, Mr. Rangers fan, how'd that go for you?
It went just about as well as this entire season has gone.
Why is their offense so bad?
I told you before we were kind of chatting about it on the off the air before the show, and I said all season I have thought the Rays and the Rangers have been mirror images of each other. Hitting, pitching, stats-wise, offense, defense, all of it. Like, it's like watching the same team when I flip over to watch the Rays or flip over to watch the Rangers. Sometimes I can't tell which team I'm watching because they're mirror images of each other. And the offensive, just the anemic offense of the Rangers this year is inexplicable. Like I told you we had Eric Nadel, who's the longtime radio voice of the Texas Rangers, on yesterday with the Norm Hitzkus show that aired this morning. And, the whole organization has no answers. They brought one of the Boones in as a new hitting coach, trying to straighten it out. I'm like, well, that's a terrible idea. He can't hit without steroids anyway.
Yeah. I See,
But
yeah,
it's Brett. Brett Boone. Yeah, it was Brett. Brett Boone came in as the hitting coach because he was sitting on his couch doing a podcast, and Chris Young, our GM, thought it was a good idea to bring him into the organization. But look, they're trying everything, man, to try to get some hits. And you saw it if you watched the Rays Rangers last night. That is a microcosm of our season. You get some really good pitching, and if God forbid the starter can't throw a complete game, which nobody does that anymore because the bullpen just sucks. You saw a run scored on a wild pitch last night.
Yeah, and that was a wild pitch.
Bullpen allowed a home run.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was already out of hand by then already, but still, it's.
Well, listen, you are facing, quite frankly, the best pitcher in the American League right now, in Dennis Rasmussen. Or
Drew
Rasmussen. I always do that.
I was like, who's Dennis?
Yeah. You remember Dennis Rasmussen, don't you? Yeah, the big lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are these numbers? First pitcher in American League history to go 4-0, give up in 4 straight starts. 4-0, give up 0 runs, 10 or fewer hits, 3 or fewer walks in a 4-game span, and 23 scoreless innings now. Is that good?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. No one's ever done it before in a 4-start stretch in the history of baseball.
I mean, Tyler Malley had a good night last night.
Wasn't terrible.
Too.
No, it wasn't terrible.
You know? I mean, and those guys, if you look at just the stat lines, they're almost identical with each other.
Yeah.
And I was excited, kind of, if you can be excited about that matchup, I was excited about that matchup. And you know what? It came down to the bullpen, which for the Rangers, often it does.
Yeah. And the Rays were just, their lineup right now is getting pretty thick. Caminero, player of the week, absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. It's really, and I love the fact that it's just not, he hasn't been up and down. He had a little stretch in there, but he's been fairly consistent since he's come up, and he's just incrementally getting better. Now, whatever he did, with his Dominican Republic former hitting coach, whatever, they touched base after he got sat down for a couple days. A great job by Cash, by the way, sitting them down, letting them, just take a few days off, and maybe they sacrificed the live chicken. I don't know. Maybe, who knows?
Whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes. And he's been on fire ever since. I mean, that fastest bat as measured by stats, crazy stats. I mean, the kid is just really, really good. And he's been up long enough now that, they got the scouting reports on him. They're trying to find the holes in his swing, and they're not finding it. All they're finding is the barrel of that bat. And Aranda as well. Aranda, like I told you, I just love watching that kid hit, even if it's just a single back up the box last night. He's just so balanced. He puts the barrel on the ball like so often. He's so athletic. He's just it's fun to watch. That's a great, great hitter. And I think he's got longevity. He's got real longevity in that swing and his mechanics. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be one hell of a hitter for this team. And they're both so young. We talked a lot about Wander Franco yesterday. We're not going to do it again, but man,
no,
you put those 3 together. Holy heck. Yeah. But anyway, what they got now ain't so bad. And if Josh Lowe can stay healthy, I mean, Josh Lowe, the 23 Josh Lowe was all-star caliber, MVP caliber type guy. So you're talking, Caminero and Josh Lowe who have that ability. I'm not saying they're ever going to win one, but they'll come close. And Josh Lowe has already been a top 10 MVP guy. So listen, this is a lineup, and if and when they get Shane McClanahan back, which will be at some point, suddenly your starting pitching looks ridiculous. Now, Eric Neander, who will be at the event tonight, so I'll corner him and ask him. Can you add some payroll? No, I will not do that. I'm not going to do that. Stay far away. But yeah, if he could add some payroll and go out and get a slugging left fielder or bring back Chandler Simpson. I mean, the young core of this team is really exciting. Is really, really exciting if they could just keep them healthy. But I just think they need to add a veteran slugger. Spend some money, get a veteran slugger. But where's he going to play? What's he going to? You find a way. You find a way between the injuries and the days off and the pinch hits and everything else, you still need one big right-handed bat, another big right-handed bat in the middle of that lineup, I think. And if listen, and that's, are we good? Could we be good enough now? Yeah. You got to be better. Look at who you're competing against. You want to win a World Series, you got to beat the Dodgers, who will get healthy at some point.
Yep.
You got to beat the Yankees. You don't think the Yankees are going to keep adding on at the deadline? Sure they are.
All they ever do.
Yeah. So you can't just say, okay, this might be good enough. No, keep adding, especially when you have a pitching staff that is so affordable right now and is dominant. And I could see, we talked about this the other day, moving Shane Baz to the bullpen. Get rid of him throwing that freaking slider that gets hit for a home run every single time. He could be a 2-pitch setup guy for Fairbanks or eventually be a closer. He's got insane stuff. So they're loaded with great arms. They're very inexpensive for right now. So it's a time to go out and buy a slugger. Now, we all know that ain't happening with this ownership group, but hopefully maybe the next it will, So anyway, last night was great to watch Rasmussen do his thing again. It's been very, very impressive. And, after 3 arm surgeries, they can only let him go 5 or 6 innings. He's never going to go more than there. And with him, that's fine.
That's fine.
You don't need to push it. And, last night, that little rain delay, 17-minute rain delay, could have screwed up his whole 4-game stretch here, this historic 4-game stretch, if he doesn't get to go back out. Could have screwed that up. But it was only 17 minutes, and grounds crew did a great job. Fans got a little wet. Welcome to outdoor baseball. Nobody died, by the way. I don't know. Let me check. Intern Alex.
Nobody melted.
The hospital report. Yeah. It rained last night, according to everybody who has been afraid of outdoor baseball. Let's check and see if there were any major injuries from the rain. Anybody melt? Do we have a melting at the local hospital? No? Nobody melted? Nobody died?
It's a miracle.
Wow. Shocking development. It rained and nobody died. Wow.
I will tell you, it was still kind of weird to get my CBS Sports update on my phone that said Rangers at Rays rain delay. I'm still not used to seeing Rays baseball rain delay.
We've had lightning and rain delays at the Trop, though.
Yeah, I know.
Or leaky roofs and power outages.
But it's not the norm. It's not the norm.
It's not the norm. It's definitely not the norm. But it has happened. So now we've dealt with that, and everyone survived.
By the way, I saw this interesting little video. Leave it to me to get into stadium talk now. I don't know. It was about a year ago as I'm going down the YouTube wormhole, the rabbit hole here on stadiums, because I'm a big stadiums guy. But anyway, I saw this thing, the top 10 stadiums that were never built.
Oh, cool.
And they had 2 for Tampa.
Yeah.
That were proposed. Now, one of them was simply a refit of the Trop to put a retractable roof on it.
Yeah,
remember that ever being a thing? Like, I should have saved the picture out of it. But number one, it was ugly as sin, because the Trop already by itself is just ugly as sin from the outside.
And a horrible idea. They just it's the same failed location.
Yeah. They just cut. And I don't know how long ago this was. I want to say it was late 90s.
I don't think that was a plan. That was more of somebody using AI and generating something. That was never talked of seriously.
The date on the drawing was like 1999 or something. So it was fairly early in the Rays' existence. But they just built these railways out from one end, cut the top off of it, and had like a fan thing that would come out and ride on the rail. I mean, number one, it's already ugly. That was making it a lot uglier. But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, it's a lot harder than just putting a roof on it, because you're still going to get weather and stuff inside from time to time, and the Trop has no drainage.
Right.
The electronics aren't waterproof. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I'd never seen that plan for that before. But what about a retractable roof out there in Tampa? Like, I'd be on board with that.
They're just so expensive. And when you go look at how many times you actually have the roof open, it's not worth it.
Yeah, ask the Rangers.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, it's better just to put a roof on it. And I loved, and they probably had the Ybor City design with the translucent roof in the shape of a ray.
Lots of times,
in the shape of a ray. That was cool. I love that design. I love that whole thing. It is, conspicuously, well, according to Daryl Shaw, that particular piece of ground is not available anymore. Of course, that's been said before.
Right.
So I don't know if that's negotiating or whether they've chosen Ybor Harbor or Ray J site or Fairgrounds or someplace else, but they'll find a spot. Sorry, Greg Warmoth, my old buddy at Channel 9, when he said there's no stadium, no land, no money, no financing. Every bit of that is incorrect, by the way. Every bit. But anyway, thank you for playing. All right, so here's the latest on Michael Kelly. According to Pete Thamel, very much in the know, sources say Navy is targeting USF AD Michael Kelly to become its next athletic director. Kelly is a veteran administrator with experience at both the ACC and with the college football playoff. He adds that Kelly's father, Dennis, is a Naval Academy graduate from 1967. Kelly is also a native of Washington, D.C., who attended St. John's College High School.
Almost went to school with Roger Stahl back then, just a couple of years off.
Yeah. So a couple things. He is so ingrained in what he's doing here. Obviously, he's a friend of the show and been on many times. This shocks me because I'm quite sure the ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten have come calling or will come calling for him.
Mm-hmm.
A much bigger program will come calling for him if they haven't already. And I think they have, by the way. He's that highly regarded. And he is a superhero. For now, USF fans can get mad at some of the hires, but look at the facilities. Look at how that entire athletic program has gone from being an afterthought in that administration to being a priority. He's changed the entire dynamic in so many ways. The new stadium, football stadium, is, ground is broken. It's on the way. I just can't. It would shock me that he would leave, frankly. And this is not, I'm not casting any personal aspersions on him whatsoever. It's his life and his, there could be family ties, could be lots of different things. I know this. If your father is a graduate of the Naval Academy, midshipman, that holds a very special place in your heart and your family. I mean, prestigious wise. I mean, you grow up in that atmosphere and you're offered to become the athletic director. It may, as some people have said in the comments, boy, that seems like a downgrade. No, I don't think so. And certainly not to Michael Kelly, not to what, and I don't know this for a fact, and I'm not saying he's going to take it, but I would think from what I know about, same thing about West Point and Annapolis, the same thing. I mean, if your father graduated from there, you've heard stories, you've been back to Annapolis. It is a mythical place for you if you grew up in that atmosphere. So I would think it'd be an extremely strong pull.
Yeah.
Really strong pull. It's not just, don't think, Navy athletics. And by the way, the Navy football team's been damn good, better than USF over the past few years. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. And if they lose Michael Kelly, man, that's going to be a huge, huge hit for USF on so many levels. Because they're positioning themselves, and I think they've done a great job of positioning themselves to move into the Super Conference or the Big Ten or the ACC whenever this next round of alignments happen. I would put that at 80 to 90% that they move up in conference standing with Michael Kelly. Without him, crapshoot. Now, I have no idea who would replace him, but you have to understand how connected Michael Kelly is. He's, when he took that job at USF, I was like, wow, they got Michael Kelly. Wow. I'm like, can Florida State get Michael Kelly? The athletic director they had at the time. Oof. No good. So, yeah, this would be a huge blow to USF. So, whatever you got to do, boosters,
make it happen.
Go, into your wife's treasure chest there of all the gold and silver. Bring it over to the Golden Diamond Source, cash it in, and send it over to Mr. Kelly. as soon as possible. See how I worked in an advertiser there?
Yeah, that was great.
See how I did that? That was very nice.
True professional.
Yeah, right there. So yeah, we'll follow that story. But as of right now, this is not good. Not good. All right. How about we get to a couple of comments here? Oh, I wanted to also get to the Bucs here real quick. Hassan Reddick, no show yesterday at the OTAs. And I know this is a non-story. It's starting to irk me. And what I don't understand is, and I'm not Hassan Reddick. I have no idea what's in his head. But he's got a opportunity here in life to really cash in. And with the salary cap going up and what edge rushers are now being paid, like into $40 million level, the reason you don't have a long-term deal is because of what you did last year in holding out. I firmly believe had he just gone to the Jets, shut his mouth and put up double-digit sacks and showed up, even though he didn't want to, in this climate, I think he'd have a long-term deal in the mid-30s. Is that crazy to say? If he went to the Jets last year, showed up, went to OTAs, balled out like he does every year, and had 14 sacks, when I look at who's been signed and what's going on, that tells me he would have gotten mid-30s, low 30s at least. And here he sits with a one-year deal for $14 million. And so now all your prospective employers are looking at you going, oh, what's he going to do? Because if he gets 15 sacks, we may be interested. You think they're interested now? No. And listen, you can make the case. The guy could get injured out there. He could blow out his knee. He's only on a one-year deal. All he's going to do is collect that, and then it's over. Yeah, I get it. I totally get that. But it's OTAs. It's practice.
It's walkthroughs.
It's they're playing some football out there.
The veterans usually aren't, though.
Yeah, true. And just show up. You can kind of tell, listen, I'm on a one-year deal. I don't want to get, want to do team activities. I just want to do individual.
Right.
And you know what? If you did that, you're there. You're learning the system. You're getting the mental reps. But not being there is just a bad look. It's a bad look. It's a bad look to the Bucs who may want to re-sign you. It's a bad look to the rest of the league. It's just, given what you've done, it's a bad look. And we can say it doesn't matter, and it probably doesn't in terms of how he's going to play this year. But if I were him, I'm just saying if I were him and I had this opportunity, I would be impressed. I'm not just trying to impress the Buccaneers. I'm trying to impress every team that's going to be a potential free agent signing for me. And I'm going to show up with freaking bells on. And I'm going to show out. This is your time. Every day is a job interview for you to make guaranteed $130 million for the next 5 years in your profession. And I can promise you this, you'll never get an opportunity like this again. Never. The timing could not be better for you. The opportunity could not be better with this team that you're going to be on. If you can't get double-digit sacks with those two guys rushing from the inside, and Yaya coming off the other side, man, it's a gold mine waiting for you. And he may show up and get that done anyway. But if I were him, I'd be there.
Yeah, I completely get your point, and I also agree this is a non-story, but it's a little frustrating. It's just a little frustrating because you think that he needs to do everything he can to put on a good show for the new fans in Tampa Bay. And I know that he made that great statement, part of the crew and all of that when he signed his contract and the press conference. That was all great. But now that was 3 weeks ago, and now nobody cares. And everybody's like, what about now?
Right.
And I'll tell you what's going through his head.
Show me. Don't talk about it. Show me.
I guarantee you, and you touched on it, what's going through his head, he's got a little bit of probably overconfidence. He's like, I don't have to be there. It's voluntary. I'll be there when I need to be. I don't want to get hurt. I'll do the minimum that I need to do this offseason, and then I'm going to go out in the regular season, and I'm going to put up 15 sacks, and I'm going to earn my money then. That's what's going through his head. I guarantee
get
it.
I get it.
I'm not saying that's right, and that it's not frustrating to
No,
experience.
there's I think there's arguments on both sides.
Sure.
I'm just saying, if it were me, I'd be there. And it's you put it perfectly. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Lou Maggio's on deck. Sports Club of Tampa Bay, our incoming president. We're gonna shine a little light on tonight's Hall of Fame festivities. We are brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com, coming to you from the Jeeves Law Group studio. There you see it right there, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. If I can talk this morning. OnSiteConstructionFL.com presents us in our first hour. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Owner Jason Fawcett will be here. If you got any home improvement questions or any questions about construction or restoration of your home, he is the man. Get him ready and put him in the comments, and we will ask him. He will be here, and he'll also chat a little hockey as well. All right, quick break. Lou Maggio on deck. Stay with us. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this historic Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, a day that will live in celebration of the Hall of Fame class from the Sports Club of Tampa Bay. We are brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. They're in the Hall of Fame here in Tampa. For insurance agents, no question about it. They've been doing it for over 60 years. That's almost as old as the Sports Club of Tampa Bay. Almost as old as Lou Maggio, our next guest. Italiano Insurance.
Wow.
77.99.
Wow.
Let's bring in the well-seasoned incoming president of the Sports Club of Tampa Bay, an icon in his own right, the great Lou Maggio. With his White Sox shirt on. What the hell is that?
Oh, it's free. I'm a swag whore. You know that anyway.
Aren't we all? Free Starbucks cup right here. Thank you very much.
Why all your advertisers or insurance agencies, bars? We throw a bail bondsman in there. We got it all covered for you.
Yes.
I know you do.
Where's Chico's bail bonds? I want to be sponsored by the Bad News Bears. Chico's bail bonds.
I've got that shirt somewhere. I'll send it to you anyway.
Yeah.
But hey, what's going on? How are you guys doing?
I'm excited. I'm excited about tonight. I'm going to put this little graphic up here we have of all the well, actually, let's put this one up here. That one, because it shows Evan Longoria and all the rest of our inductees. This is a freaking Hall of Fame class. Oh, what do you know? It is a Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, Evan got in yesterday, actually. So he's here for sure. And I know Coop just got in also. I know Coop was scouting somewhere in Europe, I thought. So Cooper's in town. They're all in town. We're excited, man. It's a great, and you do an amazing job. It busts my butt to compliment you, but you're so damn good at what you do. Anyway, I mean,
I'm no Rob Higgins, but I hold my own. You
do a great job, and it's just, if you've never been to an event like this, we're sold out. First of all, yeah. I've got friends calling me, "Hey, you got some tickets?" And I can't do it.
I know it's
500, 550. We've never sold out like this before, and then every year the club is growing at such great leaps and bounds, and it's like I said, I'm really honored to be the president, and I'm so glad you accepted to be on the board.
Well, you've done a great job, Lou. You kind of brought us into the aughts a little bit. I mean, the former leadership has done a great job as well. They did a fantastic job. You've zipped it up a little bit with a lot of hard work with the golf tournament and a lot of other special events that we have planned and have planned. Brandy and Mark and everybody has done a great job through the years, and we're just going to continue to grow, which is really, really good.
We got amazing, like I said, we got an amazing class. Longo, of course, and you got Dick Vitale. I mean, let's face it, Dickie V is going to be amazing tonight. Rob Higgins, John Cooper.
Well, let's stop at Dickie V for a second, because first of all, I mean, we could be here all night, all day, talking about his Hall of Fame credentials. But the man and what he's done for pediatric cancer, it's a lifelong legacy for him. And he is college basketball, still is. He is the face of college basketball and has been for a long time. And he's had 4 rounds of cancer in the last 5 years that I can remember that he's had to beat. And and I know he hasn't been doing any interviews because he wanted to save his voice for tonight. I'm looking forward.
Was it you that told me that? He was at a Braves game the other night, and some guy was talking. He says, "I'm saving my voice for next Wednesday." And all of a sudden, he starts talking. I mean, it's just, I really am really excited. We're excited to have him on board. It's so well deserving.
Yes.
And I tell you, we've got 2 amazing coaches. Terry Rupp is a legend, and of course, Dominic Sayo is. Wait till you see the intro video that Dominic has on all the great players. I mean, that have come from Dominic's, his lineage. And it's amazing. And a lot of NFL guys, college guys. And when they found out Dominic was going to be inducted, there's going to be more Dominic fans there than your fans. And
What? What?
I know if it's possible.
You know,
If
it's
it's
funny. His
possible.
name. I was talking to our good friend Pat Burnham, who does recruiting for the Osceola, and they've got a player, Johnny Jones, who's a top recruit. And he was telling me, he's like, Ice goes, you know, some of these young recruits we get, they just, you know, they're so intimidated by the press. They've never done interviews before, and they're just like, ugh. He goes, this Johnny Jones, he's from Berkeley, and he's like, he is a seasoned pro. And I'm like, well, he comes from good stock. You know, the coaching staff there, the program at Berkeley, they produce not only incredible football players, but incredible human beings. And he's one of them. And it's just
he's on a video tonight. You'll see him on the video tonight.
great.
He does
Cool.
Yeah, he's really. I mean, he's done a great job, and we're really excited about it. You know, the sports club. The cool thing about sports clubs and shows like yourself, there's so many new people that are coming into Tampa that really don't know about the history of sports here. I mean, like I said, you know, the Levy brothers that started this club are the reason we have the Buccaneers.
That's right.
And so that's my goal this year. I mean, to like bring in some folks that never have been around Tampa, teach them about what's we've done, and have a good time and have some good sporting events. We've got an amazing new board coming in. Of course, Brandy's going to stay on board because she's done a great job.
Fantastic.
And, you know, got Kelly Lastro from Channel 8 and Butch Delgado and, you know, Joe Tellas. That means some awesome.
These are tip-top leaders in the business community and local community that you're talking about. And some of you may not know the names, but they are. And when we have our groupings, our meetings every month, and we just have Brian Ford come in, give an amazing presentation, you network with these folks. You know, that's part of what this is. It's a networking event. It's honoring sports clubs. So if you just moved here and you want to get into it, bye Lou. I don't know what happened to Lou. But it's sports club of tampabay.org. There he is.
There he is. The thing about it is, like I said, it's only $100 a year to be a member, but you know, if you can go to Palmacia once a month, see a great sports type person, you know, giving a speech and have a great dinner, it's amazing. Palmacia is our headquarters, Palmacia Country Club. And, you know, I mean, not many of us besides you get to play golf there, but anyway,
I don't get to. I pay for it.
I'm only a Carrollwood Country Club guy.
I pay dearly for it. So I can't even play right now because of course I'm hung up. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
No, it's great. It's a beautiful venue. The food is fantastic, by the way.
But it's a great networking opportunity. You know, like I said, and like Jana Barrett is actually Leonard Levy's daughter, and she's on our board of directors. And I'm so honored to have her on there also because, you know, it's history. It's Tampa history, and my grandfather started the first dry cleaners in Tampa in 1915.
He just knocked you off the internet. He just disappears.
Phone. I'm back. So I'm
glad. There you go.
I'm glad. I mean, like I said, I'm just glad to to have this honor. I mean, like I said, my uncles were members of First Club.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's pretty cool. But tonight, I'm sorry you guys can't make it because it's sold out. If you're gonna call me, don't. I would do anything I can. Actually, listen to me. JP and I are not even sitting at a table.
We're not. We gave up our seats.
We've given up our seats to people that wanted to go. So we'll be eating some pizza in the back somewhere. Anyway,
yes.
So
I'm gonna get a lot of hors d'oeuvres at the VIP reception.
I mean, it's great, you know. And if you want to be a sponsor for next year, I mean, sponsors are really treated very nicely. We have a big VIP room. We have a huge list of media that will be here tonight, and so you can catch us all over, different networks and channels and different newspapers tomorrow, and see what we've got going on.
So we have Evan Longoria coming, Dick Vitale. We mentioned who else?
Dave Mishkin from the Lightning, John Cooper.
Coop's going to be there tonight. Rob Higgins we had on the show the other day. He's not allowed to MC. That's my job tonight.
No, you will never lose that job. Okay, because we pay you so well. Anyway,
I get paid in respect. And Tony Dungy, who had a previous engagement and won't be able to make it tonight, but you guys went out and filmed a very. He wanted to make you tell the story because he took a whole day out to go film a video.
We have an amazing acceptance video, and actually his son will be accepting for him tonight.
Cool.
Eric, he will be here accepting for him tonight. But it's Tony's just such a class act. He wanted to be here, so you'll probably see him at a couple of our events if you come to any of the dinners and speakers we have. He promised me that he will come to one of the events and speak for us. So
That's
we'll get
awesome.
him. We'll get him back. He's just such a great guy, man. It's just, I mean. It's and I mean he zooms as far as class
Oh,
as far as Tampa Bay. But I know Rondé's going to be there tonight, and quite a your old buddy Rondé, and a bunch of
Yep.
different folks are going to be there. A lot of if you get a chance to go on our website, like you just told them, you can see a list of who's who in Tampa sports that have been inducted before, and it's just I'm excited to share this with a lot of the newcomers coming to Tampa, and we got some really cool events coming up, and we're going to get you on a pickleball court,
Yes.
and just make sure you stretch because I don't want to see you tearing anything and blaming it on me. And we'll get Charlie Bradley and Tino Martinez on there because they're
Yeah,
big
we're gonna
pickleball
have
guys.
that. I'm glad actually we had to move the first one because I couldn't be there for that one, so I'm glad it got moved. And
That's
now
why
we'll
we
have.
moved. That's why we moved it.
Oh, right.
That's exactly the reason we did it. We moved it because JP couldn't be there, and
Right,
so
right. Well, thank you for that. All right, so tonight's tonight. We'll have all the highlights for you tomorrow. Are we live streaming tonight or are we not?
No, we're not live streaming,
Okay.
but if you we're actually filming. If you go on our website, we actually film the entire show, and it's done very professionally. I mean, if you want to watch last year's, I mean, Titus O'Neil was amazing last
It
year.
was incredible.
And
Steve
Steve
Spurrier, Bruce
Spurrier and
Arians.
Eric. Yeah, if you want to watch last year's, go on our website. We have the entire show, and JP's all over there, of course. JP, you did a great job. Anyway, so
Let's
it's
go for
really
the speeches. The speeches are absolutely incredible. They're incredible. I'm looking forward to them tonight, and it's gonna be a magical night. It's gonna be a magical night. So don't miss out next year if you're saying, "No, I want to go." And by the way, you'll see this one edited just like last year's. We'll have it up in like a week, right?
right. We'll
Yeah,
have it
so
up in about a week. Yeah,
Yeah, so you'll be able to see the whole thing and all the speeches eventually on the website. So
For
look for
free.
that next week. Yeah, for free. So look for that next week, and I think next year we can get RHS TV to do it live, and we'll get Channel 8 or someone to put up the on their secondary channel to put it live. We'll live stream the whole thing.
Channel 8 will be here tonight.
Yeah,
Also,
no.
we have all the major local channels that'll be there, so you can probably catch some of the interviews either tonight on your 11 o'clock news,
Yeah, absolutely.
or tomorrow. It'll definitely be on there.
All right, Lou, great job, my friend. Appreciate you jumping in here on late notice. That's who you are.
I'm heading to the hall right now.
All
Okay.
right, do not call Lou today. The
Do not
answer is
call
no.
Lou, please.
The answer is usually yes with Lou. He says yes to everything, but not today. Today,
Not
the
today.
answer is no.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
Thank you,
See you
man.
tonight. See you soon. Bye.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, got to put the finishing touches on my monologue right after today's show.
How many jokes you got in there for tonight?
Not as many corny jokes as I saw last night at the Broadway performance, the off-Broadway performance of Shucked. I went to this. Yeah, it's called Shucked, and it is a corny, as I put it in my post, a corn-fed version of the Book of Mormon. If you've ever seen the Book of Mormon, it's the funniest thing you'll ever see. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see.
Huh.
And this comes close. It's not quite that. I mean, that's unbelievable. But this is a Tony Award winning show. And the funny thing about it is there's a song and there's the whole storyline in it about Tampa. We are the butt of the joke of Tampa. Tampa is the butt of the joke of the whole show. Like, you have to go see it. I want to play spoiler, but they have it. They have a song just about Tampa that is freaking hilarious. I don't know if we could play it for copyright violations.
Yeah,
just go on your Spotify, looked up Shucked, and there's a song about Tampa. I think it's actually called Tampa. So, or Traveling Song. I think it's called Traveling Song. I posted it on my social, so it's funny. And the show itself is hilarious. So if you haven't gone to Straz in a while and seen a show, go see this one. It is a yuck fest. Corniest, like literally the corny. It's about corn, and the corniest jokes you'll ever hear. But it's the way they do it is so well done. The songs are hilarious, and it's about Tampa. A lot of it's about Tampa. So go see it at the Straz. I cannot endorse it higher. 100% Rotten Tomatoes, 12 thumbs up, whatever I got to say. It's fantastic. And I got to go with my daughter last night, Shay, who's in town.
Oh, nice.
She just graduated from Belmont, the prestigious Belmont in Nashville, and got a job with Sony Music. She is in the industry. Wow. Yeah, how about that? Congratulations to my lovely daughter, Shay, who many of you have grown up with over the years. She got a job with Sony Music. So hard to get a job in the industry. Right out of school, boom, she got one. And we've been going to the Straz since she was a little girl. And we've been going to the shows. They give us the media passes on media night, and it's been one of my great traditions and privileges to take her. And thanks to everyone at the Straz, Paul and everybody there. Just they've been amazing, and we got to see this one last night, and it was so fun. I just love going to. Her and I share that musical bond. And it's, if you have something like that with one of your kids, it's so special. So we got to do that last night, and it was super fun. And she's amazing, as is my son Cullen. Never want to forget Cullen, who's on. By the way, who's on his first corporate trip, his first corporate paid trip for his new company, very prestigious, a multinational company that he caught on with. So great promotion for him. And I can't even, it's such a computer crazy job that he does. I can't even begin to tell you what it is. I don't understand. Oh, I know what they do, but I can't even say. Way over my head. So he got his first corporate paid for trip to Atlanta. And he's like, I pay for my room, I pay for my flight, I pay for the food. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? It's really fun. And he is like, yeah, we sit in these meetings all day, and it's really fun. I'm like, yeah, you would say that. Like you love that stuff. He absolutely loves it. So I'm very blessed to have two incredible children. And
so Shay's not named after Bill Shea, right? Like everybody else our age that names their kids after Shea Stadium and William Shea.
I'd like to say I slipped that one past the ex-wife, that we named her after Shea Stadium, but I don't like Shea Stadium.
I didn't think you did. That's why I was wondering.
No, we were just my ex-wife was born and raised in Dublin, and so she's Irish, and we honored their Irish heritage with both of our kids' names are Irish born names because I wanted something different, right. So we could honor the Irish heritage and then different names as well. So Cullen, Cullen, is a really cool name, right?
Yeah.
That means handsome warrior in Gaelic, which is a really cool thing, right? He's a handsome warrior.
Sure.
And Shay, I don't remember the exact meaning. I just love the name. Shay is a really cool name. And I think it has some family history as well for her. So
it means hawk-like and stately.
Yes. All right. There you go.
There you go.
She's exceptional. And both of them are, and very, very, very blessed to have two kids like that. So anyway, go see Shay.
My greatest story of naming kids after famous things is I named two of my kids with, wife number 2. I had 2 kids, and I named them both after Saved by the Bell characters.
So is one Zach?
So it's Zach after Zach Morris, and so then literally 10 months later,
you have a Screech.
His little sister was born.
Named Screech, and
I tried to name her Kelly because I wanted a Zach and Kelly. And the wife had no idea. She was a little younger than me. She was even more into the show than I was. I was like a creepy adult already watching that stuff. But she wouldn't go with Kelly. So I was like, oh, well, what about Tiffany? But with an I, like Tiffany Amber Thiessen, the actor.
Right. Okay. Right.
With I. She's like, oh, I love that. So she's Tiffany with an I. So I have a Zach and a Tiffany with my second wife. That's really my only claim to fame with names, but I snuck them past her. She realized, years later after we were already divorced, can't believe you did that to our kids. I'm like, Nicely they love done. It. They think it's funny. They've known their whole lives.
Nicely done. Should we get to some of the comments here in the first hour? Absolutely.
But also here as we near the top of the hour, we need to give a big shout out to a huge JP Peterson super fan.
Oh, yes.
Who may or may not be in the hospital right now, John Hill. As you said, you wouldn't be watching or listening today, but we're thinking about you. Get better, get well soon.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have you back on the broadcast.
I forgot to mention yesterday, but I don't know if we should mention it on the air. Well, I'll wait on that one. But John Hill Kenneth McClary, you guys know, we've talked about him and his daughter. We've prayed for her, and he sent a message yesterday. We didn't get to it. I apologize, but that she's doing much better. She's doing much better and recovering and improving. So that was touch and go for a while. So thank you guys, the whole crew out there, for praying on this show and for her. And that's working. And that's, God is good. That's fantastic. And we're praying for you too. Yes. John, believe it or not, we're gonna pray for you. We love you, brother.
Absolutely. And also, JP, we miss this with Ray's talk? Did you see that we had an MLB record set yesterday?
No. Besides the one we talked about with Rasmus?
Yes. So down in Miami, as the Colorado Rockies were visiting the Miami Marlins, we set a MLB low attendance record. As the Marlins as the Rockies get the win to move to 10 wins.
Wow, double digits now.
But the new low attendance for MLB was 137.
Oh.
And look at that.
Now, I saw something, there was like a comment on that, or a Grok comment that said that was incorrect. But that looks like about 137.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever the number is, it was an actual low record. So the 137 was the number that was thrown out there as the record. So,
well, and people want to look at that. That's such a good stadium too. I love that stadium. Yeah, I wish we had that here in Tampa, plop down right in the middle of Ybor City.
God,
the glass wall in the back, and the fact that it does retract. We would have had that would have been open the entire month of April and May. So I mean, love the retractable roof. Love that whole idea. Love outdoor baseball. Love real grass. I mean,
and by the way, who was it sent me a photo on? I think it was.
But and the reason that the Marlins attendance is so bad is because it's in a failed location, terrible location that was picked for politics and not demographics.
Right.
Same mistake we were going to make in St. Pete. And thank God that didn't happen. Yes. As Rick said, Stu will get the Lifetime Achievement Award after selling. He will. And we'll thank him for not going through with the deal in St. Pete. As much as we bash him, that was the saving grace. The fact that he didn't take that deal and couldn't get it done. That really, was a saving grace. It will turn out to be that way, in my opinion.
Thomas Casper sent me and you on the X Machine, JP, a photo of the Tropicana retractable roof that I was talking about.
Yeah, you did.
As I loaded up here for everybody to see. It's just
hideous.
Yeah.
It's hideous.
Like, what in the world are we doing?
Yeah.
Glad that never happened. That would have cost more than just building a new stadium to retro.
I know, right? Yeah, hideous. But I would have preferred that to just the Trop.
Sure.
That open, having a retractable roof would have been better. I mean, it's not as it's just as bad as the Trop. So
yeah.
And the other reason the Marlins don't draw is because of ownership. The folks down there hate the owners, and they put a AAA team on the field. Why are they going to spend money to go see it? This all comes back to ownership. It all comes back to ownership, the three most important things in sports. And that's why the Marlins are at. It's not about the market. It's not about, Florida's a spring training place. Florida, too many transient. No, build a stadium in the right place, fund the players, fund the payroll, run it like a competitive organization, and let's see what happens.
And you can have stints of bad baseball.
Yeah.
Because baseball is cyclical.
Yeah.
If the fans love the owner, if they love their team, and it's not an every year thing. Okay, take, for example, the Colorado Rockies.
Yep.
They're 10-50. By the way, Scotty Scheffler had as many wins as the whole team of the Colorado Rockies in the month of May. 3.
I know.
All right.
Insane.
They are drawing almost 28,000 per game at home.
Because they have a beautiful ballpark.
Yes.
And the Rockies are ingrained in Denver and Colorado in the region. And they've really done a great job with their fans. But they're gonna, they keep messing around with not spending money. And although I think their payrolls have been pretty competitive, they've just made a lot of bad choices from a free agent and lack of stocking
Sure.
their farm system. You know, you got to have good baseball people, and if you don't, you're going to suffer. But it's cyclical, right? Sooner or later you figure it out. Most teams do. And again,
They're
if the Rays,
they're at 124 million for their total allocation.
God, we'd kill for 124 million. 124 million would for the Rays would be another, I don't know what active payroll would be, another
double it,
70 million.
Yeah.
But another 35 million. That's two sluggers or one really good one, you know, and that's all we really need to go with this pitching staff.
It's insane.
Let's get to some of the comments, shall we? Rick says, relax, Tim. It was too hot for the Rangers last night, you know, because it's not hot in Texas. Yeah, we have an absolute, this is getting funny, actually. As Lonnie Wilkins says, how about Joe Ryan bitching about pitching outdoors in Tampa? Which he grew up doing, by the way. If this is going to be a home field advantage, that they come here and they're like, oh, it's a minor league. The lights aren't good. It's too windy and it's too hot. I'm getting paid $27 million to play baseball, but it's too hot. I got to stand out there for 2.5 hours, which actually I only stand out there for a total of 27 minutes. But man, is it hot. I got to come back to the air-conditioned dugout with all the food and the drinks and all the cold drinks. I could go sit in the paddock and shut up. Golly.
You're playing
baseball. Yeah, a major league manager. Oh, it kind of creeps in, you know, in the day like this. Where you're a big leaguer, you believe should be in a big league stadium. It's just really hot out there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You want hot? Go play Riverfront Stadium at 1974 on that AstroTurf.
Oh my God!
In the middle of August. Are you kidding
Fulton
me?
County Stadium back in the 70s.
Fulton County Stadium on that crappy turf, concrete, in the middle of July in Atlanta.
Old Busch Stadium.
Ask Ralph Garr about playing center field on that freaking hot stove. You want a hot stove league? Yeah. Jeez, old Pete's. Those guys are making $75,000 a year. You're sitting out there baking in the Atlanta sun. About 75 people out there in the stands at Fulton County Stadium watching the Braves. I mean, are you kidding me? And you know, so funny when Snyder's comedy says, yeah, we're probably a little spoiled. You think?
You think?
You think? I mean, I can't believe that these guys bitch about this stuff. You know, and if listen, if you're feeling that way, fine. To say it out loud publicly while you're making millions of dollars playing baseball that it's too hot? Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, as a manager, it's a bad look for your team that for them to hear you say that and you setting the example, because now they're like, oh, well, we have an excuse.
Yeah. As Lonnie says, ironic considering he's playing for Minnesota, which is basically all about the great outdoors, and their city connects are based on fishing and being outside. No, but it's not hot in Minnesota.
Yeah, not in Minnesota.
Yeah. Lonnie asked me thoughts on Gators men's baseball coach O'Sullivan, the backlash he's receiving. He deserves every bit of it. And, I don't want to come off as, Seminole guy hating on Gator guy. But this guy's got a lot of baggage. I mean, he's got a freaking boat full, like container ship full of baggage. A lot of it that we can't even get into. I mean, if you know those stories about Sully, there's weird stuff that went on. And the fact that he's still coaching and what he did, if you haven't seen the video of this, and by the way, this is not the only time this has happened. This guy's known, he's been successful. So he's been given a lot of rope by the Gators, a lot of leash. But at what point? Mm-hmm. In a way, there's two separate instances where he's dressing people down because they delayed a game by an hour. And the team played the night before till 1:00 in the morning. The grounds crew was there till like 2:30 in the morning and up at probably the crack of dawn to get the baseball field ready. And he's poking it like he was like in the guy's chest. I don't know if he actually hit him, but some dude was up there like this and in my face with his finger. Something would have happened with that finger.
Yeah.
There would have been a fingering issue. Yeah. If I could say that on our show.
You just did.
I did. Yeah, that was disgusting. And they did the apology thing and all that. And I never call for people's heads and for their jobs, but this is not an isolated incident with this guy. But listen, if he wants to go out and continue to embarrass the Gators, don't fire him. Don't fire him. That's good. I think it's a good look for you guys. Really good look. No, seriously, the Gator fans I know are horribly embarrassed by this guy. Horribly embarrassed. And let me just say one more thing, because I think I've seen some Florida State players do a lot of this stuff too. And I don't know where Link Jarrett is on it. I may be speaking a little bit out of turn here, but I think I've seen a little bit of it, but not to the level of some other places. Have you seen this college baseball thing that's going on now? This trash talking and the histrionics on the mound. You strike a guy out, and I mean it's like pimping and showing up the other team in a very in-your-face kind of way. We've already had incidents after games, especially in the SEC, pushing and shoving, players coming out, totally disrespecting the game. Totally disrespecting a game. I saw Chipper Jones put a post out. I reposted it the other day, and he called out Sully indirectly and some other coaches. And let me see if I can get the actual. Have you seen some of this, Timmy? Is this something that's happening in Texas?
No, I haven't seen this.
Yes, it's really becoming an epidemic in college baseball, and it's disgusting. This is Chipper. So Chipper posted this. He says, I spent quite a bit of time watching college baseball this weekend. I'll only watch a select few teams from here on out. The reason? They have coaches that respect the game and their opponents and demand the same of their players. Any team that doesn't wear the uni correctly, taunts the other team, and has a coach that condones this behavior is a disgrace to the game. Big fan of Coach Snall at Coastal Carolina, who called out Sully, by the way.
I do know what you're talking about.
And his team represent what college baseball should be like. Well done, sir. You stand for the proper behavior. Josh Pate, big college football guy, jumped in and said, yep. Jordan, there's a bunch of comments on this string if you want to go.
So we're talking about like the Georgia Bulldogs baseball team. None of the guys button their shirts all the way up. And the guys have their entire faces covered in eye black and crap like that. Yeah,
there's
no room
ridiculous.
for that in college baseball.
It's ridiculous, and the reason it's ridiculous because that seems to spawn this other type of behavior, and it's embarrassing for the game. It's terrible for the game. There's no room in the game for that. Baseball is a respectful sport. And I'm not saying you can't bat flip. I'm not saying you can't celebrate.
Yeah.
But this is taunting, getting in people's faces, taunting the other dugout constantly. Coaches, and there are coaches, a lot of young, studly baseball coaches, college baseball. They're all weightlifters. They all look like, they've been doing a little bit too much testosterone, and their teams act like it.
They all look like Gabe Kapler.
They're completely out of control, and they need to get a hold on this because if they could, I've seen it through the regionals and now the super regionals. We'll see if this bleeds into the College World Series, and we see some of this now. Thankfully, a lot of these teams have been knocked out. A lot of these SEC teams that the SEC is kind of leading the way in this, if I'm going to be honest. And I think it's exactly what Chipper's talking about. And they need to get a hold of it. They need to get a hold of it because it's bad for baseball, really bad for baseball.
Nobody wants to watch it. It's not part of the game. Nobody likes that.
No.
And if that's your team out there acting like that, what an embarrassment for you. Like, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that.
Yep. All right, couple other actually, let's go ahead and hit a break. Let's hit a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get to a lot of these other comments. Jason Fawcett's going to join us from On-Site Construction. We're going to have a little fun with Jason. I mean, as I asked him, and he's texted me, he's coming in, and I said, have you ever repaired a stadium roof or done mold remediation like they got to do in the Trop? I said, I want to know what this process is like. Like, if you were restoring the Trop, how much would it cost and what's the process going to be like? So we'll have a little fun with that with Jason. Also, Johnny Gerber's going to join us at 11:30 for his picks this week in golf. Where are we playing this week? I forget.
RBC, Canadian Open.
Oh, RBC. Oh,
Yeah.
good. We'll boo all the Americans. Awesome. All right, quick break. Coming up on the other side, OnSiteConstructionFL.com, Jason Fawcett. Big thanks to Third Generation Plumbing as well. Get your unit tuned up for the summer, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And, of course, Riveters, where to go before and after the Rays games. Riveters Happy Hour is the best in the business. Please try the chicken wings. They are amazing. Get that homemade blue cheese with the medium sauce as well. Oh, it mixes so well. Riveters right there on Northdale Mabry, south of the stadium. Back at 3. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. You know, we told you about the amazing Diamond Savings Account where your diamond never loses its value. Well, now, through the end of May, the Gold and Diamond Source will double your trade-in value up to $2,500. Just bring in your jewelry to trade and your $2,500 piece turns into $5,000. It's time to upgrade that ring, earrings, whatever. We have gemologists on site to make the deal. Double your trade value up to $2,500. Get you $5,000 to spend. So go through your jewelry box and get that stuff you never wear and get something new and stylish that you're going to love. Great experience, and we will double your trade-in now till the end of May. We can finance you as well. No interest for 5 years. Only at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. Hey, Tampa Bay, it's time to get your AC unit ready for summer. And here at Third Generation Plumbing and Mechanical, we recommend getting ahead of the game, keeping your family cool before the hot summer months with one of our maintenance agreements in the hopes of avoiding the dreaded emergency service call. Our maintenance agreements include, we'll test the electrical components, check and tighten high and low voltage wire connections. We'll check the refrigerant for manufacturer's performance levels, test thermostats, calibrate if needed, clean the evaporator coil and condenser coil, and clear and treat the drain line and drain pans. Just call us at 813-961-8024 for the special rates, and a human will actually answer. 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Tampa Sports Club Wednesday, as we'll be inducting in our Hall of Fame class tonight. Looking very forward to emceeing tonight's festivities. We are brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Get that insurance checkup right now. They could save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars. We have breaking news. Breaking news.
Rays have been sold.
If only. According to the Times, USF Athletic Director Michael Kelly leaving for Navy. Wow. According to Joey Knight of the Times, what outgoing President Rhea Law called a red letter day. Oh, God, that just happened to be. Stand by. Stand by. I love when the paywall pops up. I even pay for this.
Oh, those are horrible.
Yeah. Barely a month after USF Board of Trustees formally approved the expenditure of $407 million for construction for its on-campus stadium, the athletic director who presided over the project's evolution reportedly is leaving. Yahoo Sports reported Wednesday that seventh-year AD Michael Kelly is leaving for the same job at Navy. ESPN first reported it. Kelly was being targeted by the midshipman. Kelly didn't immediately respond to a text message on Wednesday. I will have to text him as well. As we said earlier, his dad, Dennis, attended the U.S. Naval Academy, was a naval officer who served in Vietnam. He grew up in the D.C. area. Kelly attended St. John's College High School, an all-boys military institution where he became a company commander. So as I mentioned earlier, this obviously Annapolis is mythical to him, and to be going back there as their AD is probably a lifelong pursuit, and probably maybe the only place he would leave USF for. So yeah, this is a huge, huge blow to USF.
Yep.
Now I'm sure they'll find somebody great to replace him, but Michael Kelly has a long list of contacts. Obviously worked for the ACC, ran a college football playoff for a long, long time, is as connected as anybody in college sports, has done a fantastic job at USF. He will be sorely missed. This is a huge, huge blow to USF. So we'll see what they do.
Crazy.
All right. Right now we want to welcome in Jason Fawcett from On-Site Construction. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Put right up on that microphone. How's he sound? Tim, good?
No headphones for Jason?
No, he doesn't need headphones. He don't need to talk to you.
All right.
And mess up that beautiful head of hair right there. You want him to put headphones on? Are you kidding me? That's reserved for bald people like me.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Sorry about the rain. You can't work in the rain too often, can you?
No, but it's coming.
Yeah, it's the rainy season, so construction is it takes a hit sometimes, right during the rainy season.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of stop and go on the jobs, unfortunately.
Well, we always talk hockey when you come in.
Yep.
So I'm kind of iffy on the Yanni Gord re-signing. How are you on that?
Yeah, I seen that.
6-year deal.
Yep.
33-year-old player.
Yep. I don't know. The rhyme or reason sometimes it's above my pay grade and why they do things.
Yeah, and they know more than we do.
But I do like him as a hockey player.
Yeah,
I think he's an asset.
Yeah, I love Yanni and what he was. I think we need a little bit more size, but that may be coming.
Yeah,
this is just part of the puzzle. They get him for a very cheap $2.2 million.
Yeah,
Cap's going up, I think, by $25 million.
Yep.
So, and he's the guy that brings that energy, and he plays the way Cooper wants the guys to play. So I think that's a big part of it too.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Playing the way that he wants you to play.
Yeah, so that's cool. And I'm looking forward to. There's probably going to be other moves. Your hockey.
Yeah,
you're a big Lightning fan.
Yeah.
What do you think they need?
I think they've always needed defense. They need to bring in a strong defensive player. We need. I don't know if they're recruiting fighters anymore. These days where the game is going, but they need somebody that can be a little bit more intimidating than what they have.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I trust Julien Brisebois and Cooper. They know what the hell they're doing more than you and I. So I trust them in their evaluations. But I would not be shocked if they kind of leaned in that direction. Yeah, I think it's just at this point it is what it is. The Panthers got our number.
Hey, look at Florida. I mean, they were rough and tough. They were almost the bad guys against Carolina, but they came out on top. So they win. Who wins
the cup?
I like to see Edmonton. I think
we all would.
I think McDavid's due. He's put in his time and he's ready. So I'm going to give it to Edmonton.
I hope they win too. I'm going to be rooting hard for them because I do not want Florida's fans to have the back-to-back. I don't want to hear them talking about the back-to-back like we have. So, and hopefully the NHL lets those refs blow the whistle a little bit, and Edmonton makes them pay on the power play, unlike the Lightning weren't able to do that. That was the problem.
Right.
So anyway, all right. So I want to talk to you since you know construction. The trop needs to be repaired.
Right.
The word is the mold in there because it was a building that was not made to be exposed to the elements. I don't know if you've ever dealt with anything like this. 1.1 million square feet of mold remediation.
Right.
How's that going to go?
Well, like we were talking, that's a large project, and they're gonna bring in a lot of building hygienists, people that can
Building hygienists?
people that can evaluate the envelope of the building, how it's constructed, what happened between the time the roof blew off and now, and they're going to have a very, very long, lengthy, detailed report. And it's going to involve a lot of lawyers and multiple different types of contractors. It's big time on that aspect. And then once they all hash that out and figure out and determine if it's worth doing, then they'll write a protocol to, a reputable firm company, and then they'll follow direction.
What's that going to cost, you think? What do you usually charge per square foot?
I on the residential market where I'm at, primarily, mold remediation, you're looking at somewhere around starting out at around $6 a square foot, but that's on, houses. So when you go commercial, it could be a different price. When you go something that's $1 million on square foot, that could be a completely different price.
Yeah. And of course it's not $1 million that they're going to, because it's more the inner offices and stuff, because the field is most of that. And, they won't have to do that on the field, but there's a lot of work to be done. I mean, what goes into restoring something like that when they've got all the offices, the clubhouse, the word is the dugouts are underwater and have standing water in, because every time it rains, they don't have any, I guess you would put pumps in there or something to pump out the water.
Yeah. Well, the first thing you're going to do is if they already haven't, you're going to get rid of all the building material that's absorbing the water or holding down the mold, whatnot, extracting that, getting that out of there, and then getting in there and using disinfectants and and get it all cleaned up. And then
sounds like a pretty big job.
And at that point, you'll start fooling around with the infrastructure and the plumbing and trying to, not let that problem happen again. And then you'll go into the build back. So this is, it's all in stages, and it's going to be very long and lengthy time.
So they say it's like $46 million to do the roof. Now the roof is like a Teflon fabric covering that they're going to be putting on, I guess, starting in September, which is still
the roof.
Yeah. So how would you like to be up on that and those catwalks putting on that roof? And like that could be a problem, I would think.
I mean, logistically, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to take that roof on. I'm sure there's a good profit margin in it.
There might be a little profit margin in that one built in.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna get done, and there's gonna be a lot of different eyes on it, professionals making sure. So I mean, it's it's gonna get processed.
But this is as what happens, and we talk about this on your ads all the time. When you get in there, working on a project, you have a certain budget in mind, right? You're going to try to make as best an estimate, and you guys do a great job of sticking to that. When you're dealing with a project of this size, though, I mean, I can't even imagine like the things that will pop up where it's just going to send, it's just they'll find things and it can be really, really expensive to repair it.
Yeah. So in the commercial world, the residential world, commercial more, they're going to get in and it's going to be in the contract documents, whatnot, on how to approach change order. There's a whole process in doing the bidding selection. And I mean, they try and reduce that as much as possible. And that's where these companies on both sides of the aisle make their money, by either saving it, or, finding a mistake or an error of someone else.
Yeah.
So, you got to do your due diligence. That's, in my market, which is much smaller. I mean, I like to do my due diligence and make sure when I'm building the budget, I'm building it as accurate as possible, because I know that customer is banking a lot of decisions off of my number.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And and for a job this size, that's got to be just incredible, because there's so many things that you can't know, that's in there. When you're talking about a building that wasn't supposed to be exposed to the elements and has been for a long time, I would imagine there's a lot of things that pop up that they weren't expecting. So we'll see. They expect that, or they're supposed to have it done by April of next year. What do you think?
I mean, probably not going to happen. Just the way things work out.
Well, we'll be playing at Steinbrenner Field probably, I think, maybe for the beginning of next year. So what's going on in your business right now? What are the trends? Are we still dealing with hurricane restoration? What's going on?
So, a lot of people are just now still getting their money from their insurance.
Just now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right now. So, and we're gearing up for the next rainy season to come. So basically right now I'm getting out there and just allowing people to understand what we do and the areas that we cover. So when it does hit the fan, they're not acting like, what do I do now? You need to get out there and make relationships with contractors. Take advantage of the free consultation. I can come out and take a look at your property, give you some tips, etc. But you got to lay down those paths now, so you're not scurrying around, after hurricane. That's a great point, because that's what everybody did. Things happen, and it's hard to prepare for stuff like that. But now they can, essentially reserve you if something were to happen. I mean, you can always call us up and say, hey, how's my roof look, or these windows, this or that. I mean, I'm going to come out personally and take a look at it. I only get so many spots during the week that I can run my consultations. Mm-hmm. So I'm always going for additions, renovations, remodels, stuff like that. But while I'm out there, I can take a look at whatever. I'm a source of knowledge for most people, that are maybe naive to the construction industry. I'm going to give them some good advice at the minimum. And they can protect them and do stuff. We still know their next two steps. Yeah. And if something were to happen, you've already got a relationship with yourself, and right away you can get in the line and get your stuff taken care of. That's important, because a lot of people are sitting here, friends of mine that have just got their kitchen redone. And 9 months later, and that's a long time to be out of your house. Yep. And a lot of people are, shooting off the side of their hip with jobs. They don't know more than 2 weeks out. So, with my company and my team, we're set up like that. We're set up in a way you can actually get a fair price, know where your numbers are at, get on the schedule, and get processed like you think you should be, with a good communication, good job out the door. Yeah. So if someone wants a free consultation, just call 813-579-5789. Correct. 813-579-5789. You can go to onsiteconstructionfl.com as well. Go to the website, guys, because they got great information there, great pictures. You can see the great work that they've done around Tampa Bay, over 1,400 jobs, 20 years of experience. It's all there for you. onsiteconstructionfl.com. All right. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for coming in. I know you're a busy man. Appreciate it. Yeah. So get in line now. Get a relationship. And you need some work done. You already know where to go and who to call and who to trust. So appreciate you coming in, Jason. Thank you. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Johnny Gerber, PGA Pro, will give you the bets for this week as we are playing at the RBC Canadian Classics. Stay with us.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Going through a medical emergency without healthcare insurance can cause you to go into crippling debt. In most scenarios, people are forced to either break into their retirement funds or worse, they're forced to file for bankruptcy. The sad truth is that healthcare insurance is crucial in today's day and age. Look, I get it. Many of you think you're never going to get sick and health insurance is really expensive. Well, we can help you out with that. Depending on your income, we can find great plans and huge discounts. God forbid you get cancer, a car accident. It could literally ruin you financially for life. So make the call and find out. Even though the open enrollment period is over, you may have some qualifying life events that can help you get covered right away. It can be very complicated, a very intimidating process, but we can help. Go to our website and check out all the 5-star reviews about our helpful agents. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. It's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to a news-breaking Wednesday Sports Club of Tampa Bay Hall of Fame show. We got more news breaking. Thanks to Jason Fawcett from On-Site Construction right there, and our thanks to all our great sponsors, great local sponsors, the G's Law Group, gslawgroup.com, and of course, Cafe Paradiso. Get your open table reservation at Cafe Paradiso for this week. All right, breaking news. Nikita Kucherov voted the 24-25 Ted Lindsay Award winner. This is basically the MVP as voted on by the NHLPA members. So this is the Players MVP Award without the scores to be settled by the NHL media who vote for the NHL MVP and always snub Nikita Kucherov. This one is from the players, and it's more important. It's the Ted Lindsay Award, and Nikita Kucherov wins his second Ted Lindsay Award, putting him in rarefied air.
Ted Lindsay was pretty good, so to have your name attached to his award, that's pretty good.
Yeah. He's building quite the resume, Nikita Kucherov. 3 Art Rosses, 2 Ted Lindsay Awards. And we start talking about the most accomplished athlete in the history of Tampa Bay. Nikita Kucherov may be moving people off that Mount Rushmore. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, if Stamkos is your other guy, then yeah, I'd say he's probably already surpassed it.
Yeah. Did Stamkos, has he ever won the Ted Lindsay? I don't think he did. So I peruse here. No. Marty St. Louis did. Martin St. Louis did. But no Stamkos. Nikita Kucherov and Martin St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So
Martin
there you go.
St. Louis.
Martin St. Louis.
Extremely overrated. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that?
Taking a shot at Marty. All right, let's talk some golf with our man John Gerber, PGA Pro and betting extraordinaire. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Good morning, fellas. What is happening? What's going on?
I wish I were Scotty Scheffler's bank account. I want to grow like Scotty Scheffler's bank account.
You and a lot of people, right? I mean, you would even take Ted Scott's bank account, his caddy. I mean,
I would.
you
I
know,
would indeed.
I mean,
would
flip a
indeed.
coin on that one. Flip a coin, and Ted just has to walk and tell Scotty he's still really good, and he doesn't have to hit those golf shots like Scotty Scheffler does. You know, I was up there all week. You know, it's funny. I was up there all week. You know, growing up doing the reporting at the Memorial, and I hear so many words of, you know, Scotty's like Tiger. Scotty's like Tiger. I was like, listen, slow down. Now slow down. He is as close on the run that he is going as Tiger's had in a long time. But, you know, if you look at it, he's more like Jack. And here's why I say that.
Okay.
Jack had the field eliminated. When Jack went to the golf course, especially when you're playing in inclement weather, he knew he only had to beat a third of the field, because the other 75% of the field was already, you know, complaining or doing some things. So he eliminated that. And Jack didn't make mistakes. And that's what you're seeing with Scotty. He's not overpowering a golf course like Tiger could. I mean, Jack was long back in the day, but it was just different. Jack just didn't make mistakes. And the reason I say that also is, if you look at the last round, going into there on the 14th hole, a lot of these guys who were 3 or 4 shots back were having to hit driver on a really short hole, and there's water on the right. I played this place 100 times, and Scotty just hits his 5-iron down there, and he hits the edge, and all these guys are trying to catch up. He is probably the best front runner I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. And that's what Jack was, to your point. That's what Jack was. Yeah, he let the field eliminate themselves for the most part, while he played steady. And if he had to go on a run, he had the ability to do it. But he would only do it. What is something he famously said about amateurs as well? If I can't hit a shot 8 out of 10 times, I'm not trying it. Yeah, I'm not trying it. And to hear Jack Nicklaus say that, you go, wow. So he did, but that's how you win golf tournaments, right?
And you know, Scotty can't overpower a place. Like he's not as long. Jordan Spieth is longer than Scotty Scheffler. Most people don't really realize that Jordan Spieth is off the tee. He's longer than Scotty Scheffler. Scotty just can't dominate a facility or a golf course like Tiger could. That's why I take him out of that realm of comparing him to Tiger. Jack could, but Jack just didn't need to. Jack didn't want to. Jack had the power when he wanted to. Jack was a better athlete than most people think he was.
Yeah.
So, you know, I really compare him the game-wise more to Jack than I do to Tiger.
Well, what he's doing is it's unprecedented, but he still only has 3 majors. I say only. At the age of 29, he has 3 majors. Yeah. Got a chance for 1 more this year. Well, actually, 2 more this year.
2 more.
What do you think his chances are to win at least 1 more major this year? It's got to be pretty damn good at the places that we're playing. What do you think?
I don't like how Oakmont sets up for him, and that's really hard to say. Here's why. Scotty Scheffler's stats when it comes to lag putting is not very good. So when I say not very good, comparative to everyone else, that's the least of his strength is lag putting. And at Oakmont, you're going to have a lot of lag. There's going to be a lot of putts you're going to have to lag putt. I mean, you're going to have a lot of 30, 40 footers. That's what U.S. Opens are. Now, he is good inside 6 feet. He's got better. But if you look at any part of Scotty Scheffler's game, which poor is the wrong way to say it, it is probably his putting. But that's a little miscued stat because he hits it so damn good that he has a lot of opportunities. But if he's a little bit off on those Oakmont greens, who's going to make everyone scratch their heads, trust me, you're going to see some head scratching and some cursing and some, you know, I got a bet next week, and I'm going to be down there with you, JP, and we're going to have a bet next week. And it's the funniest bet I ever do. And I always do it when it goes to Oakmont. The over and under how many clubs that you see get broken by pros at Oakmont, because it's a lot. It's more so than they just get frustrated with the place. So
why is it so frustrating? Because the greens,
the greens are the hardest greens in the world. They're the hardest greens in the world. And the rough is going to be brutal, especially when it's set up to a golf. There's going to be a 310-yard par 3. 310-yard par 3. There's going to be a 310-yard par 3.
I can do that.
They did that in 5, maybe, Tim.
Well,
it's not a
par
5.
I could do it in 3. I just said I could do that.
Some guys are going to be hitting 5 wood in there.
Well, if you look what happened, if you look the last time it was there, it was like 294 a par 3, 294, and they were hitting 3 woods on the greens. It plays a little bit down, and it's going to play firm. Maybe it plays firm. I mean, the weather has been so bad up in that area, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and you'll see it this week in Canada. It's going to play really soft, and I know for fact the rough is going to be about 5 or 6 inches. It's going to be impossible. So if you're driving it poorly, you cannot play out of the rough, and it wouldn't surprise me if over par wins.
Why are we talking about the U.S. Open?
Because it's coming up.
It's next week,
and we're not allowed to talk about Canada.
It's
because they're mean to us.
RBC Canadian Open we're supposed to be talking about.
But Canadians are mean to us.
Because you're going to hate this golf course this week.
Right.
It's 7,400 yards.
Open, I can't stomach her.
Okay, no, we'll get back in here. We'll talk Canada and talk some more.
No, it's too late.
No, because I know you want to talk Canada because that's your second home. So let's get in and talk some Canada.
No, it's
come on, get back in. Come on.
Oh God! This is what you get from the rough. You get a whole 2 hours of this from the rough. Yeah. Go to them. So we're just giving you a slice of these two jamokes
from the rough today. Doing this mess, talking U.S. Open. Come on.
All right, let's.
But 2 national championships in a row. What's wrong with that? Canadian Open national championship.
It is our national Open this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Canada, eh?
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the RBC Canadian Open where they're going to boo all the American players.
They're not going to
like that matters.
Yeah, they won't do that, but it'll be kind of close. But American player might not win this week. We'll see, but we'll see.
All right, let's go to the card and see what we got.
Listen, I'm looking at some guys that I like this week that are very creative. They're playing at TPC Toronto 7,400 par 70, which Tim hates. That's why he's in a bad mood, because he saw the course. He's like, man, I don't really want to talk this. This is garbage. Par 70.
I'm okay with a par 70. I don't like the 71s. Okay, 70 is better than a 71, but they should all be 72.
Yeah, but anyways, it's going to play a lot very similar to what they played last week at Murphy Village. Same type of grass. They're playing in cooler weather. The last week's weather was very strange. That's what you get in that type in that area this type of year. But listen, I love the creativity, and I like how solid Shane Lowry played last week. That's why he's on our card at 20-1. Same situation. You have to really be creative at this place. The greens are undulating. It's a newer place for these guys, so not a lot of course knowledge. TPC Toronto, they've moved this place around, the Canadian Open around a lot. So this is a new place, so not really a course advantage, but I like his creativity at 20-1. Sam Burns at 22-1. I think his game is kind of trending. If you saw the third round, second round last week, he shot 65 in the incredibly difficult weather. I mean, that was the worst weather that they had all week at Murphy Village. So I like him at 22-1. I like the way his game is trending. And one of the best ball strikers on the PGA Tour at 30-1, Sung J M. This is what you're going to need. You're going to have to be very precise. The rough is going to be up there. It's going to be thick, just like they had at Murphy last week. So you see some of the really good ball strikers and guys that are trending well. I like Sung Jae at this spot at 31. Canada, Toronto, there's a lot of Asians, so he's going to have a lot of support. I know I'm being serious. It sounds weird, but there is a lot of support for the Asian community in Toronto. There just is.
Okay.
And I think
that makes it one of your favorite stops.
Yeah, it's my favorite. My favorite. I get in trouble up there in Toronto. First off,
I like other guys.
It's pretty close to Columbus, when I was growing up. So we used to go to Canada a lot and go over to Windsor, which is that's a completely different.
What do they have
show.
in Windsor, John?
I don't. I heard they had a lot of things, but we just can't really talk about it on this show.
He's not allowed to cross that bridge.
Yeah. When you cross that bridge, why do most people cross that with tourists? What are they selling over in Windsor? Are there any tariffs on that?
A lot. They're selling a lot. They're right there. Is it bad if there's a red light when you go across the border instead of green? Is that a bad thing? Because I thought red was just go ahead and go and have fun.
What's the tariff on that? That's what I want to know.
Right,
how's that work?
Listen, here's a great 66-1. Eric Van Rooyen. He won the qualifier in Columbus for the U.S. Open by a lot.
Yeah.
His game is trending well. He's getting used to this grass. His 2 wins, though, my only thing is his 2 wins were down south on the islands when it was windy. So we're not really going to get that type of win. But when you have this success he's had in that confidence, getting in the U.S. Open on Monday, he won the qualifier by like 5 shots. And then going up to Canada, I think that's going to bode well for him. 2-time PGA Tour winner. I like him value at 66 to 1.
66 to 1, yeah.
Yeah, 2 top 10s. Keith Mitchell, Cashmere Keith. He's going to be able to wear his sweaters this week because it's going to be chilly. So he's going to feel real comfortable. Real comfortable at plus 450. And
Look
Eric
good, play
Cole,
good.
That's right. And Eric Cole at plus 650. Doesn't particularly play well up north. He's a Florida guy, but he's trending well. He's been playing solid. He just doesn't have the wins. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. So I think, again, Tim probably doesn't like it. He's probably going to have to shoot 15, 16 under this week to win. But I think Eric Cole's, how he kind of doesn't make those mistakes, he can make plenty of birdies to get to that mark if he can just eliminate, a couple of those mistakes. But at plus 650, there's great value there for Eric Cole. And I went two top 20s, the law firm of Alex and Alex. Alex Noren plus 220 and Alex Smalley at plus 250. You look at Alex Noren, again, he's been playing fantastic. He played really solid at Murfield Village. Again, he's just a grinder, this guy. In a field with not a lot of superstars except for Rory, which this is really baffling to me why he skips last week and plays this week. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I tried to figure out what was happening up at Murfield, and no one was really talking. So I just kind of left it at that. But I like the way Alex Noren is really grinding. He plays solid at Murfield Village. Just the conditions were brutal. But 220, you're not going to get a lot of value with these guys in the top 20, but I like him at 220. And Alex Smalley at plus 250. You look at a guy that he's one of the longer guys on the PGA Tour. He's had a solid year. The guy's due to win. And I think in a situation like this, the Canadian Open, I think with a shorter field, not a lot of superstars, I think he's going to shine there at plus 250. So there's good value on Alex Smalley also.
All right. Love it.
Nice.
Speaking of the U.S. Open qualifier, how about that amateur at the Piedmont Driving Club with 17 birdies in 27 holes? Is that what
he made?
And then he finished 17 under?
He finished 18 under. He made 18 birdies, didn't make a bogey, and he was tied for medalist. Another kid who plays at Vanderbilt shot 18 under, and he's 19 years old. So you're looking how golf, this is a testament to a lot of things like training, coaching, physical fitness is getting a million times better. And the number one thing is these kids aren't scared, man. These kids, they haven't been scarred yet. They don't care if your last name is Scheffler or Woods or Smith. It does not matter. These kids, they're going and they do not care. They put their head down and they make as many birdies as they can.
Dude, that's low. That's low.
I saw that over the golf's longest day. Out of the 52 spots that were available through all of the nationwide qualifying tournaments, 11 of them were gathered up by amateurs. So this 20%. Is going to be the year of the amateur.
20% of the field.
How unusual is that?
It's not. I mean, 20% is a lot for you. You're only having 56 spots that they have. So 20% is a lot for amateurs, but this is the true test of golf, right? If you can play, this gives you an opportunity to play. It doesn't really matter what your name is. If you're a pro or, a dentist made it. An amateur dentist made and that'll be a story. You'll hear a story. This guy.
I love that. I love that part about the U.S. Open. No matter who you are, you can shoot your way in.
Hey, if you can play, man, this gives you the opportunity to play. But you'll always see an amateur, pop up the leaderboard. They're not going to win. Listen, especially at a place that's very unforgiving like Oakmont. They're not going to win, but there's going to be some great storylines. And, you can get a bet, and we'll talk about it next week because Tim certainly doesn't want to talk U.S. Open this week. He made that perfectly clear.
Bye-bye.
There you go.
I'm out.
There'll be a bet, and we'll talk about it next week. There'll be some really cool prop bets.
Yeah,
JP, and we'll talk about it when I get to Tampa next week. Is how many amateurs make the field? Make the cut. Yeah. Amateurs making top 20 and cuts and things like that. How many? You can't get the bet how many clubs will be broken, but I'm gonna try to find it.
Well, we had Jackson Suber from my club here at Palmacia made the cut last year as an amateur, and then turned pro, and he was remember he took Rom's spot and was in that featured group, and he played great. And so many of the world's top 10 players could not make the cut last year, top 25, and he did. And that was an incredible performance. So, and he's one of those guys that can go solo.
Well, he played at Ole Miss, didn't he, JP? Yeah. I think he played at Ole Miss. But you look at Tim, I mean, you can't really tell at Palmacia because it takes the driver out of your hand. But he's a kid that sets the mold. He hits it forever. If you look at his driving stats, you couldn't tell at Palmacia because he's probably hitting 6-iron off every tee out there and taking the driver out of the
He shot 59 twice and set the course record, and he hit driver every hole. And he drove.
He did?
Yeah, I think he drove 4 of the par 4s.
Yeah, there you. But on a normal day, he probably doesn't do that, right? No, I mean, but he is the typical new prototype of the PGA Tour. Hit it forever, big strong kid, and just go find it and
hit it again.
Have a pretty solid wedge game. I mean, that's just what it is. And you're looking at, like you said, the 17-year-old kid. The kid's hitting at 340 yards off the tee. I mean, it shrinks it up. It shrinks it up. And it just allows a lot of opportunities there.
We got to dial back the ball, baby. We got to dial it back.
I mean, that's what the chicks dig about me. They always comment on my wedge game. Every time.
That's scary.
You see what I have to deal with, JP. Thank you for turning. You see what I have to deal with.
Just leave.
Just leave. Yeah. No, but looking forward to this week. We cashed one ticket last week on Tom Hoagie to finish in the top 10. So
nice
we
job.
did lose. We did lose a little bit last week, but we're still a little over $5,000 plus for the year. After our win 2 weeks ago, we didn't have any matchups, but we're still 33-8-4. No matchups last week just because of the weather. They shuffled around, last week. So I didn't really feel good about any matchups, but we are 33-8-4. And hopefully if the weather holds up, we'll have some more matchups, but we still are a little over $5,000 net profit for the year. So we're looking for the next couple of weeks to gain on that profitability.
Get your bets down, kids. Get them down all this week on the RBC. And then next week we got US Open to talk about. And you'll be here for the US Open too. We got to find a place to play. So bring your clubs.
Do we really want to play, or do we want to go to Riveters and watch the U.S. Open all week? I don't know. I'm only there for a couple days. I don't know if I want to lug my club. I just think you want a golf lesson. I don't have to bring my clubs to give you a golf lesson.
Last time I played, I hit it really well. So I'm excited to get back out there because of course it'll be terrible.
I'm not so sure I'm going to bring my clubs.
I shot a 37.
That's good. I tell everybody you're better than what you think you are. You can play. You still hitting that driver? I got you.
Absolutely. Actually hitting it, and now actually hitting it in the fairway, which is
that's hard.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
that's important.
That's hard. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring my club, JP. I'm still 50-50 on that. I think there's some other things that we can have fun doing besides playing golf.
Well, at least you'll come say hello this time. So like dogging me last time, no showed me.
Wow. Oh, not true. Not true. Yeah. Maybe we can do a show. Maybe we can do a U.S. Open show at Riveters Thursday night or Friday afternoon.
We can definitely do that. 100%.
Let's make that. Everybody come
wings.
Yeah, I do. We'll talk about U.S. Open. Maybe we'll have some U.S. Open trivia or something like that. They can get some FanStream Sports hats or something like that. We'll give away out there.
I love it. We shall do it. Johnny Gerber, PGA Pro. Follow him on Twitter for all your betting advice. Thank you, John.
Going to be a great show tonight. Please watch because if this is going on now.
Eastern from the rough at fanstreamsports.com.
And he hasn't even started doing Fireball yet.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, there you go. All right, thanks, Johnny.
Bye, Johnny.
All right, we got to hit one more break here. One more break, and then we'll come back and get to all of your great comments here. If you have some more comments after that tomfoolery, throw them in the comment section. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Folks, it is June. How about a little moon sight, a little amethyst at your for your stone of the month, as we like to say, a gem of the month. And you can get all those great things at the goldanddiamond.com. 15% off if you go to goldanddiamond.com. And of course, if you're looking for that ring, you want to pop the question, no interest financing for 5 years. You can get a $5,000 ring for just $83 a month. She's worth it. So go to goldendiamond.com. Better yet, just go to the Golden Diamond Source at 3800 Omerton Road and always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Back in 3. Stay with us. Hey, are you tired and broke from going to those overpriced sports bars with $18 martinis and $20 burgers? Well, head over to Riveters, now the official sports bar and grill of the J.P. Peterson Show. I love the atmosphere. It's uniquely nostalgic American, recalling the days of Rosie the Riveter. The staff is incredibly friendly and welcoming in a laid-back, casual indoor-outdoor setting. And check out the reviews, and you'll hear this. Best Reuben sandwich ever. Amazing wings, burgers, and prime rib. The welcome you get when you walk in is incredible. The staff will call you by name. You're not just customers. You're really part of the family. So go say hello to Maha, Taylor, Serena, May, Courtney, Jamie, Christina, Lauren. Tell them JP sent you. This is a real sports bar, and we love our home teams. And they're playing the games on the TVs all the time. You won't have to ask to put the Lightning, the Rays, the Bucs, or the Rowdies on. They do the UFC fights for free, no cover. Big screens and TVs everywhere. It's the place to watch sports in Tampa. Great fresh food, amazing staff, great drinks, insane happy hour, 3 to 7 every day. Race season is here, so make sure you stop by Riveters before or after the game. It's just north of 275 on Dale Mabry, just south of Steinbrenner Field. See you at Riveters. JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. You know, we told you about the amazing diamond savings account where your diamond never loses its value. Well, now, through the end of May, the Gold and Diamond Source will double your trade-in value up to $2,500. Just bring in your jewelry to trade, and your $2,500 piece turns into $5,000. It's time to upgrade that ring, earrings, whatever. We have gemologists on site to make the deal. Double your trade value up to $2,500. Get you $5,000 to spend. So go through your jewelry box and get that stuff you never wear and get something new and stylish that you're going to love. Great experience, and we will double your trade-in now till the end of May. We can finance you as well. No interest for 5 years. Only at the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Go Rays!
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to this news breaking Wednesday. Michael Kelly leaving USF for the Naval Academy, where his dad was a graduate of and a midshipman there in Annapolis. So obviously something near and dear to his heart, but a huge hole left there for USF. Ken Erickson's name, longtime softball coach, has been mentioned. I think that would be a great choice. Lalo Prado, former baseball coach, also now has been one of their top fundraisers. There's another name to be mentioned, so we'll see what happens at USF. And the Ted Lindsay Award goes to Nikita Kucherov.
Ooch.
Now, he was surprised by the announcement. I guess the Bolts did some type of thing to surprise him with the award. And I think we got.
Oh, is that right? That's
there.
cool. I always like watching those videos.
I haven't seen this video, so let me just play it. Alex, the intern, found this, so let's see what this is all about. Hold on. Nicely done, boys. Cool. Nicely done. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, of course, Cooch is, we fly to LA, fly the kid. Nah, I'll stay here.
Yeah.
Just bring it to me.
Like, whatever.
He doesn't want to. That's the thing about Cooch, and I think it's why he gets kind of the bad national rap and why he can't win writers awards because they don't like him because he doesn't kiss their ass. Right. He's just I'd rather just stay here with the family and get it from my teammates.
Yeah,
to get surprised by it. I like that. I like that about Cooch. Yeah, good stuff, my man.
Yeah, that was very good stuff.
What else? Any other comments here we need to get to?
We had a bunch
Rick
of them.
Being a smart ass.
Always.
Yeah, love Rick. What do you say here? You want hot? Walk across the street to football players making half the money your players are. Well, take an air-conditioned bus instead. That's right. Oh, my God. It's just unbelievable. Michael LaRue says MLB has an ownership problem. There are a dozen teams that don't care about winning. So true. And you know where they got that idea? Stu Sternberg.
Yeah.
Seriously. These other owners are like, I can't keep up with them, so I'm just diving for the bottom. Why not make a couple 100,000 or a couple $100 million a year? Just do
for revenue sharing.
I'll just do what Sternberg's doing. Have a low payroll, work the up and coming players, good young cheap players, and make lots of money. So yeah, Rays have always been trendsetters, and this trend and many of the trends have not been great for baseball, quite frankly. So there you go. Rick says, I contacted Jason a couple of weeks ago to remodel my bathroom. When I mentioned JP, he stopped answering my calls. Shut up, Rick. He did just get his kitchen back today. Well, if you'd have hired Jason in the beginning, you'd have got it done a lot sooner. So maybe next time maybe you should call him for a consultation so you can already be in line when the next one hits.
Or maybe just don't lose your kitchen in the first place so that you have to go get it back.
Yeah. He could prep that for you.
Yeah.
And on Hassan Reddick, Christopher Cole says, just relax, Cody. He's been to phase one. He has been to phase one.
Yes, he's been in the building already.
He's been in the building, but Cody says he's Randy Gregory. He's not. This is a totally different deal. Randy Gregory was a minimal investment. They knew he was probably just going to get high anyway, but if he decided to clean it up, that they would take him. This is a totally different deal. This guy's making $14 million guaranteed.
Let's not put Reddick's name in the same sentence as Randy Gregory, okay? Because it's not. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, totally. Way more productive, way more dependable, but it is what it is. All right, so we are off. I got to finish up my script for tonight's Hall of Fame banquet and induction ceremony at Higgins Hall. So, and we'll that whole thing will be won't be streamed. It'll be edited. So in about a few days, it will be available. We'll get that stream out to you. So,
but you'll come back with all the stories tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I get all the stories for you tomorrow. I'll probably have some video with me as well.
Who punched who? And
yeah, I'll take my phone tonight and we'll do some impromptu interviews and bring it back to you for social media and the show. Awesome. All right. Thanks to Jason Fawcett from Onsite Construction, OnsiteConstructionFL.com. We had a fun little chat about the Trop, what that's going to take to repair, because he would know. Thanks to Lou Maggio, president of the Sports Club of Tampa Bay, and also Johnny Gerber, who joined us today as well. So big show for tomorrow. We got Scott Reynolds coming on. I got a huge show tomorrow. Dominic Sayo is going to join us tomorrow after being inducted. I got lots of stuff. I'm doing FSU baseball preview with Emily. So we got lots coming on tomorrow. So join us then. Have a great day, everybody.